All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started and people can continue trickling in. If you haven't already and you want to add your name and institution to the chat, it's a small group, so you're also welcome to come off mute at any point. All right. So we're glad that you're all here. Thanks for joining us. And we'll go ahead and get started. Today, we are going to be spending a lot of time talking about program review in Precision Campus. So everything will be program review related today. Talk about some MVP features related to program review. We're going to have a little icebreaker type activity that we'll use in our program review tool. Sam Newman from West Valley College is going to spend some time talking about their development of program review in Precision Campus, and then we'll have time for open discussion about that as well before we close and randomly assign someone to receive our $50 DoorDash gift card for the meeting. So just as a reminder of our purpose, this is intended to be a space where we can connect, share ideas, and really have some discussion around data and how we can support institutional effectiveness and student success. We'll be talking about that in the context of Precision Campus and what we can learn more about in the tool as far as additional features and functions, and really just a place where hopefully everybody can contribute and come away with some ideas related to data at their institution. All right, I think we can all be respectful. I think that's good. We can gloss over that. All right, so we're going to get started with some features that Eric's going to tell us about related to more high-level organization of program review. And those would be some of the pieces that would kind of set up your workflow and organize the materials as you're moving through a program review cycle. So Eric, I will turn that over to you.
So Wintry, I know the things you mentioned. Did you do the evaluator last meeting? Is that why?
I did,
Okay,
yes.
all right,
If we have time at the end, we can touch on it too. Yeah.
Okay, let me share my screen. So over the years, different colleges have wanted certain features to be added on, and when it makes sense, we do it. But I don't always get a chance to tell everybody about some of these things, and some of them are a little, but sometimes they make everyone's lives easier. So I'm going to mention the things that I think Wintry had me do, but if I forget something, Wintry, you just got to tell me. Anyway,
got it.
So after a certain amount of time, you might want to lock an entire program review from any further changes, but still make it available for people to see. So if you click the lock button there, people will still see it when they go to their program review, menu option, but they won't be able to make any changes. They can print them out, but everything will be read only. So that can be kind of helpful. I know every college has a deadline for when the program review is done, and you'd hope to enforce that deadline. You can it'll lock it for everybody, all the programs for the program review. Then you have a situation where, especially after you've been using this for a number of years, you have some old program reviews that people, especially if they're no longer on the committee, they don't want to keep seeing it when they go to that menu option. But you don't want to delete it. You still want to have it. So you can use the archive button, and that allows you it'll just hide it from all the users. Nobody will be able to see it, but it'll still be available. And you, as the administrator, can see it and print it out and everything. But for everybody else, it'll be hidden from you. Okay, so those are two important buttons. The next are checkboxes. The button I want to show you sometimes especially when you're moving to a new year, Obviously, you're not going to recreate the entire program review from scratch because it's mostly the same. So you can copy the program review just by doing that. It makes a copy right here. And it's going to copy just the template. It won't copy the actual users inside it, which is a good question because a lot of times you want to roll over the new users, roll over the old users to the new year, right? So I'm going to go into programs. These are all the people in my list here. And here, copy all users. It will give you, the demo site is broken on me, but this would be a list of templates, and you'd click on that template name, and it would populate that would copy over to the template you picked. It's not going to remove anyone who's already there, so it just adds new programs into that list. So that's something else. Again, to make your management of all the program review process easier from year to year. All right, Wintry, what else am I missing here?
Let's see. So delete and then folders. Did you talk about organizing in folders?
Folders. So yeah, oh, that's really a solid point. I want to highlight that actually. It's a very important point. This issue came up with the college alone. They had a lot of some people had like multiple program reviews that they were responsible for, and it became kind of confusing. And you know, how do we manage all that? Well, come down here to show you program review. Okay, so for example, they had some program reviews for SLOs, and they didn't want to be confused with other program reviews. Anyway, you can have, and we can help set this up for you. You don't have to do it yourself, but if you have this option, filter by template name, SLO. So they put SLO in there. What it's going to do, it's going to, when the user, you know, when users going in to look at their program review options, it's going to look for the letters SLO all in a row in any of the type or the year or the name, and it's going to only show the ones that match SLO. And so, I mean, for me, I don't have good examples here in the when you click on the menu here, if I had made that one filter on SLO, only program review templates with the name SLO would come in here. And so that way, if you have multiple templates for the same person, and you want to make their lives a little bit easier, you can filter on those. And you know, whether it's instructional or administrative program review or service offices or whatever, you can have a way to clean up a little of the lists there. That's one thing. Again, these are all kind of organizational features that optionally can make your jobs a little bit easier. These here are like the type here. This is a free text field. You can do whatever you want. I could call it instructional. Or I could call it you know, rubric or something. It's just a way for you to keep track of things. It's not there's no programming behind it. Many colleges will organize their program review templates, often by year, and they'll create these folders. So I could say I'm going to create a new, you know, templates for 2025, right? And so now I dumped that into my folder there, just to keep things organized. Yes. Okay. What else, Wintry? Anything else I'm missing?
Any more examples you want to talk about with the child templates, how it's typically used?
Oh, yeah. Okay. This comes up quite often.
Yeah.
Whether it's, in this case, the example is technology request, or it could be your strategic objectives, anything that you're uncertain that how many items are going to be in the response, right? 0 or more items in the response. And so here, I have a technology request. Let me show you what that looks like. This is a simple one. How much does your equipment cost? And what's the name of the equipment? All right, it's very brief, very brief. And I think, let me go into, I put it here. I can't remember where I put it. Well, I can put it here anyway. All right, so this is going to be technology request, and I can allow multiple copies of this template. Okay. So then when I go, I'm going to fill out my program review. And I'm going to add a technology request. So I need, say I need a new scanner or something like that. See if it didn't show up.
Eric, I don't want to jump ahead of anyone, but you built this for us and I can show this in action if you want me to. I have it actually up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Resource Etiquette, yeah. If you wanted me to, I can
I
share
don't know
my
why
screen.
my demo didn't work for me. Show it to me.
Might have
Yeah.
been a blank copy. See if you can
Yeah.
take over the sharing, Isabel. I'm not sure if the settings will let you. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm trying to get familiar with
It's at the top
this.
right-hand side.
No, I cannot share.
It won't let you share.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I'll have to figure out how to make that change to the setting. But it would appear there, maybe while we're going through the rest of our presentation, I'll see if I can change a setting where you could circle back and show it to us. If that sounds okay to everyone. There was another hand up too. Mallory, did you have a question? Did I see your hand?
Yeah, sorry. I was just, Eric, when you added a folder, how did you add a new folder?
Sure. I'll show that. Let me share my screen again. All right. Share. So I'm going to tell you how I added a new folder, but I was a development site, so sometimes it's for development. So here I am on the production site. I'm going to scroll down to my technology requests, and here I've already made 3 requests: overhead projector, printer, MRI. Good luck getting that because they're like $10 million. But I'm going to say edit that, and now I can edit my very small template that has the name of the equipment and the cost. All right. And so you can see, though, you can add as many items as you want. And so this child template concept could be, if you have multiple objectives for the program, and each objectives has a set of questions, 3 or 4 questions. So it's a nice way for an uncertain, undefined number of responses. Also, this is an important thing too that's, I think, people ask for, and so we added it in. Sometimes the department chair or whoever's filling this out wants to attach something to the response. Maybe it's a supporting documentation or something. This is just a place where you can attach a document of any kind, and it becomes a nice place. Everything's in one place. All right. Let me go back to doing folders, which Mallory asked about. If I click move, one of the options is new folder. So I can say this is going to be stuff for 2025. So now it moved it into that folder. Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Good deal. Any other questions before we move on? Okay. I'm gonna take back over the share. All right, so we are going to we're going to do a little experiment, an activity using the program review tool as kind of a get to know you thing. I am putting in the chat, oops, there we go, a link to the Precision Campus demo development site. If you follow that link, you should be able to log in with the username being your first name, lowercase, no caps, and no spaces. So just your first name for the username. The password, everybody's is set to that password that's in the chat there. So you can copy and paste that. It's a capital P. Very, very secure. But this will allow you to have access to the demo site under your unique user account. And once you're in there, if you'll give a little thumbs up reaction so we can see if everybody's able to log in. Okay, we got Bill. Thank you, Mallory's in. Okay, Kyung Ha, good. Okay. All right. So if you're stuck and you cannot get in, let us know in the chat and we'll see if we can do something to help with that. But once you're in, if you navigate to program review and then program review budget templates, you should see one there for our activity here. Should look like this. Excellent, we have somebody typing. If you would like to sign your comments with your initials or something, you can do that, or you can turn on track changes, and then it's going to automatically tag you as a user. But if you'll just put in your answers, we're going to see if it can handle all of us interacting in the same time. It's designed for a couple collaborators. That's how it's typically used. You have 1 or 2 people in the department completing it. So we're going to test it and see if it can handle real-time multiple people in there typing, see how it handles it. Can
you repeat the navigation?
Yeah, so when you log in, it's going to be taking you to this page. If you select program review and then program review and budget templates. Yours won't look like this. You should only see this one, or it'll take you there automatically, actually. So you should land right here.
So I don't see a budget template.
Me neither.
Oh dear. Let's see. Is anyone seeing this? They logged in with their username?
I only see 5 tiles.
Okay.
We can see enrollment variables and trends, faculty workload, course success, and enrollment distributions under program review.
All right. Well, we will probably have to make some adjustments then.
Okay, hold on. I think I'm found a little missing. Kyung Ha, can you refresh your web page and see if you see it? Sam, can you try too?
Yeah, I still only see the 5 for tabs for program review.
Just a 5 as well here.
Oh, you mean you see 5 menu items?
Yeah, they don't have the program review card.
If you log out and log back in, I just gave permission to everybody.
Still no dice. All right.
Really?
Well, we'll run with the chat, so we know that works. If you could share in the chat a summer project that you're tackling this summer, something fun that you're doing this summer outside of work. And then, in your opinion, what's the best thing about summer? And you can just put that in the chat. Some barbecue, World Cup game.
Oh, World Cup, right.
Yeah. Some program review updates. Good warm weather appreciation. A backpacking trip. Very nice. Oh, that's a big trip, Kyung Ha.
It was about 3 weeks.
Oh.
All right,
Cool.
Sam, refresh your webpage, see if it shows up.
It works. It's there now.
All right, they're all
Okay.
there now, but we've already answered the questions.
Well, there's some program review question. Let's give it a shot for the program review section that we haven't talked about so far.
it should all show up for all of you now if you refresh your page.
I am getting a strange editor error.
Uh-oh.
Oh, maybe not.
But I see the questions. I just can't.
Good. All right, at least you see the
Okay.
questions.
Looks like somebody's able to type. That's good.
Oh, cool. Maybe it's just me. I'll try logging out.
Somebody's happy to have nothing to do with program review. If you turn track changes on, it'll put who you are, or you can sign with your initials, or you can stay anonymous.
Richard, how do you turn on track changes? I don't think I've ever used it in there.
Yeah, so if you click inside one of the text boxes, you should be able to see it on my screen. If you click inside, a menu is going to appear on hover, and it's
I
this
see it.
little.
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome.
There you go. It doesn't track different colors, but it'll tag who you are. All right, let's take 2 or 3 more minutes. put in some ideas here. So it looks like we have a range of roles, some people not having anything to do with program review and happy about that. Others, one's primary leads for it. Variety of tools, maybe used in the past, maybe used as supplements. As deans heavily involved in the program review process, awesome. And some pain points with multiple platforms and applying filters, copy and paste, and user training. All right. Well, thank you all for your patience and logging in and putting in some comments. We are going to go ahead and move on to the next portion of our user group, and that will be our feature presentation from Sam at West Valley College and talking about their implementation of program review using Precision Campus and getting that off the ground.
Cool. Thanks, Victory.
Thanks, Sam.
Hi, everyone. I recognize a couple names, but rest of you, great to meet you. Let's see. There it goes. I've been a research analyst for just 2 years, and we implemented Precision Campus for program review for the first time this spring. We had been using it also for about 2 years, Precision Campus more broadly as a dashboard tool, so people were a little bit familiar. But prior to that, I only really know program review through this most recent experience. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about how we implemented it, and then I will show you kind of the layout of the data packet that we put together and the templates. And this is casual, so feel free to interrupt me. And then also, if you did something different and have incorporated Precision Campus, feel free to chime in. So we were kind of just talking about it, but before Precision Campus, everyone submitted their program review through a Word doc, and they would go get the data by going to Power BI. They would be required to kind of filter their own data, a Newman for student learning outcome data, and then staff would kind of do their own filtering, a lot of copying and pasting, which sometimes was in error, and so then reflecting on incorrect data, and I think just created put more of the cognitive load on the user. And then kind of another piece before Precision Campus was that we had a lot more dashboard maintenance, mostly through Power BI. We had the enrollment dashboard and student characteristics, and it just took more time on our office to keep those updated. So in using Precision Campus, we're really trying to streamline our dashboards and with the goal of putting pretty much all of the public-facing data staff-facing data on Precision Campus. Oops, there we go. And so, some of the reasons why we decided to move to Precision Campus was that we really wanted that one-stop shop so staff could go to the template and all the data would be there. I said mostly because it's on our end, but we're still using Newman, and we're trying to, again, incorporate that into Precision Campus. And I believe PC has the capability of that, but we have some other things we have to do first. Another reason that we were attracted to it was this dynamic filtering based on program. So what that means is that, for instance, we have one academic template, and we assign that template to head of math and the head of English. And that's both the same template. However, when the math lead and the English lead go into their respective program reviews, they have different data. And that's because on the back end, we assign them different roles. And just by assigning them roles, the data dynamically adjusts to their role. And so that just saves us a lot of time up front, and it kind of reduces the asking staff to kind of do the filtering, and sometimes they're making mistakes. And instead, we're automating it and giving them the data they need with less clicks and less stress. So dynamic filtering was a big draw. And then also the kind of repeatability and automation. It did take some time to set up program review in Precision Campus this time. But as we look forward to our program review in the future, I don't envision too many changes. It's really just how much the program leads at our school want to change the templates. But even then, I think it would be pretty minimal. So kind of this repeatability, automation, be able to spend our time elsewhere was enticing. So now I'm going to briefly walk over the process. Sorry, we just have a new we have a new marketing PowerPoint, and I didn't know that it comes built in with all these automations. So I'll learn with you. So there's three kind of main processes that I will talk about. And the first one is that when we were setting up program review, we needed to first align with our sister college. We're a 2-college district. And sorry, yeah, I'm at West Valley College, which is near San Jose, and our other college is Mission. And we are going to use the same data packets. And I'll get into this more, but data packets kind of what I envision as like the warehouse of data, and then the templates are kind of I don't know, it's like semi-trucks that you kind of load the data and they go to math or they go to English. So anyway, we had to align with our sister college to figure out, okay, what data do you want on there for sure? What data do we want? And just took some liaisoning back and forth to have those conversations. And that was a pretty minimal amount of time. The second process definitely took the most time, and that was kind of being the liaison between our college's program review lead and faculty and Eric and Wintry. And what we were doing was determining kind of the order of the data packet. Which tables do we want in front? What visuals does it make sense to have enrollment as a bar chart, or to just have a table? What disags do we want in there? And just like a lot of small changes. Eric and Wintry were very patient because we asked for, something one way, and then maybe the next week we're asking it actually for the other way. And so there's just a lot of back and forth, and I think that's just the natural process for setting up the data packet. And then one recommendation that really helped us was that because we were asking for all these changes, and sometimes they were really small, Eric and Wintry offered a pretty simple, quick training on how to use Precision Campus on the dev side, and so that I could go in and instantly make small changes that were a lot more basic. And I think that helped us a lot, in that we were able to make small changes more quickly and be less bothersome to Eric and Wintry. But more importantly, it really helped me understand the capabilities of Precision Campus, and so that when I was meeting with the leads for West Valley College program review, they would suggest, oh, can we have X, Y, and Z in there? And because I had a better understanding of how PC worked, I could then respond, no, actually we can't, but we could have this. Whereas if I didn't have that training, I'd then send an email to Eric and Wintry, and then they would let me know, and then I would communicate back to the leads. And so it just kind of slowed down the whole process. So I do recommend that. I felt like it really helped my understanding and ultimately got us to the product that we wanted quicker. So yeah, step 2 took about 70% of our time, step 1, 10%. And the last 20%, we have a small team. We're just 2 analysts and then our supervisor. And we had, I think, about 70-something programs. And so we were anticipating that was just too much to put on our small team. And so we decided to train and organize template leaders. So we only had 3 different, departments. So we had an administrative program review, we had a student services program review, and then we had an academic program review. And so for each of those 3, we assigned a representative that was going to be in charge with customizing the template and assigning all the users and coordinating when program review had not been completed and when it was completed, and just kind of communicating with the deans. And so we were able to take a back seat. And so really, most of our work was getting it ready, but then once program review opened up and started, it was really, we were pretty hands off, other than just answering questions and helping staff understand, I don't know, like disproportionate impact tables and some of the interpretation. Yeah. And then I'll briefly go into outcomes, and then I'll go ahead and show what our program review looked like in Precision Campus. But overall, we haven't done any kind of surveys or hard stuff, but just in talking with people, faculty said the process was very easy. They really stressed how much they liked going to just one place and the data was already there, and that they would then just be able to add narrative where necessary. So they said the process was very easy, which was our main goal. As I mentioned, we don't expect a ton of more work for our next program review. The main problems that did come up were related to computer fluency, kind of like computer skills in general. One staff was really frustrated at a point because the data was appearing in two places, but what they accidentally did was copy and paste all the questions and then enter it into a narrative text box. And so they were seeing it in two places, but really nothing to do with the functionality of program review and Precision Campus, and yeah, just some computer fluency skills. And then I think in thinking of program review next time, we're going to put out some instructional videos about how to interpret disproportionate impact tables. We got the most amount of questions for that, and that's just kind of something that we're taking away from this cycle. Any questions before I dive into show our program review in Precision Campus? Cool. Well, don't be shy if they come up. Let me go. Okay. One thing that I recommend also adding, if you set up program review, is that if you talk to Eric and Wintry, they can kind of create this organization. We found it really easy to instruct faculty and staff by having program review be more prominent in our title. This intended for IR only are kind of like individual snapshots of all the data that's in our data packet, and we labeled it this way just to discourage staff from going there. We don't really go in here either, but all of those individual reports feed this data packet. And so I'm gonna say early that one of our goals is to reduce the amount of data that's in this data packet. We have a lot of reports, so that's a summer goal. Kind of like showing you my dirty closet that needs spring cleaning. But this is what we have. So it starts with enrollment, and then kind of has all these different disags. We have non-credit data in there, credit, and a few select bar charts. We try to lean more towards the tables, some DI reports, and yeah, it keeps going. This is award information. And then the filters are pretty simple, instructional method and whatnot. So again, the relationship between the data packets is, I kind of think of this as the warehouse. This is where all the data lives, and the templates, those three that I mentioned, academic, student services, and administrative, they all have bits and pieces of this data packet, but not the whole thing. And so that's why there's kind of a ton in here, so that those different templates can get the data they need to show staff. I think that's it. One other thing I will show you is that we have two data packets. So that one's instructional facing. This one is student services facing. And one key difference with the service area is that we have MC stands for Mission College. That's our sister college. WV, West Valley College. And so these are all our cohorts that we wanted to make available for a service area. And actually in the template, those completing the service area data packet would come into, program view would come into the service area data packet. If they were first year experience, they click yes, okay. and then that would filter the data based on that cohort, which a lot of our service area members were responsible for one of those cohort programs. So those are our templates, and then I'll briefly show you just kind of what our template structure looks like. And one thing I forgot to add was that I recommend in that third step that I mentioned about training the liaisons, I created a kind of master template, this one here. And the master template is kind of like the starting block for the instruction, the academic, service area, and administrative templates. So I kind of gave this to those leaders, and I think it was helpful because it was able to kind of add uniformity across all the other templates, and then I threw in some basic HTML to help create that. And so if you want to just see that, this one here. So this is kind of the user end, although this is just the template. XX was used to denote that the template leaders would have to go in and actually make an edit for every XX. But this was kind of just the template to get everyone started. And then what they did, so I had them make copies of that template. And then you can see here that we have the administrative, instructional, service area, and then we had to create this hybrid one. But I'll show you first, I'll show instructional. And so this is what it looks like on the back end of the template. When you're creating it, this is not what the user sees, but we had our leaders, template leaders come in here, and they would make edits, and then they added individual questions that we can see here. And what this looks like, instructional. Cool. So this is the math. I signed in, gave myself the role for math. And so, as we were doing earlier, these are all narrative texts that you can respond to. And then what the very cool thing is having this embedded data. And again, so these numbers are not for West Valley at large, but they're actually just for math. And what's cool is that this is the same template, but if I had assigned myself the English role, these numbers would all be updated for English. And what our faculty really liked is that, we could put this question, describe headcount trends for your program compared to the college, right below the data so that staff can be in one place and, look and type on the same screen, which for a lot of our staffs is a really big deal. So we had headcount, ethnicity by race, yeah. And so there's small things that you can do. You can kind of hide sections if you hide the section if your program only has non-credit courses, so that can kind of shorten it. And yeah, there's kind of some customizability. We have some multiple choices in here. So this was the only place that users needed to go elsewhere to get data, was just getting this SLO data. And I believe that was only for instructional. It wasn't for administrative or service area. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, Isabel?
Hi, Sam. Really great presentation. I have a question about how you load the data into the template. And I might ask the team to show us at Ohlone how to do this, because we still, in our program review, have a link, just a hyperlink to go back to the data sheet in order, and then they have to go back to the, so it's so the functionality of just kind of like showing and hiding like the accordion, that would be a great feature to have. Thank you, Sam, for showing that. And it's just about how do you build that in?
Yeah, Erica Wintry, do you want to take a better stab at it?
I was just going to say, I think you do a good job there. If you want to open up your edit for a template, we can Yeah, if you just want to edit one of those.
Cool. I think we have a bunch in here.
Yeah, and there were so many. I'm sure you've got one that we could look at here.
What was it?
There we go. So on the right-hand side, there's that list of different items that you could bring in. One of them is a saved report or a menu report. And all that is dragging that report in, or sorry, that item in, and then selecting the report that you want to put in its space there. It does take a little bit of organization to get each report set up individually so that you can feed it in exactly where you want it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Sam, we spent a lot of time going back and forth getting them all set up individually there. But the actual adding them part, pretty easy.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So you have to set them up individually first. Okay. That might be, and it's rather labor intensive to set them up individually, I guess, or.
It's not that bad. It's just when you have a lot of them, then it adds up. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks as well. I was gonna share one more thing. Let's see if I remember what it was. Oh, I think I just wanted to. So yeah, this is the instructional. I wanted to show you briefly what the service area looked like. Yeah, so I just wanted to highlight this part because it's a little bit getting into the minutia, but because the different cohorts are just filters on the data packets and not courses, we weren't able to embed data in the same way that we did for the instructional. So what we asked users to do was to kind of insert, this part. Go to the data packet, which I showed you earlier, and then filter by a cohort. Oh, it's already filtered. And then they would either just copy and paste the tables in, or just describe what they're seeing. So that was one, place. But we didn't get any questions from at least I didn't get any questions from service area users who said, "Hey, how do I do this?" So yeah, I think overall, again, people were pretty pleased. Eric Wintry, is there anything else you want me to talk about?
Sam, you can, without going into too many specifics, we had a challenging episode with the data.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Talk about how you manage that and everything.
Yeah, we were constantly making changes, and one of the changes that we had Eric Wintry make was making only the last, what was it? It was for if we had uploaded, spring 2020, or sorry, fall 25 data, but for a report that shows the full year, we don't really want to show fall 25. We really want fall 25 to only show in the reports that are per term. So we made a change such as that, and it had a bunch of unintended ripple effects that were not related to that. So it tripled, was it seat counts or head counts? One of them for various reports, even though those were previously working correctly. And the timing was unfortunate in that I think our program review window was about to close in 2 or 3 days. So it was stressful, but Eric and Wintry were great to work with, and we corrected the change. We communicated out to all the faculty and said, apologies, but take another 2 weeks, and here's the updated numbers. And then we went over to the academic senate and apologized, but everyone was pretty understanding. They get that it was the first time using the service. And then Eric Wintry and my supervisor, we all met and kind of discussed what happened, what should we do next time. And then Eric and Wintry provided some good ideas for just mitigating errors like this in the future. But Yeah, I think at the time it felt like it was a huge mistake, but I think we all like recovered nicely, and I don't think ultimately um, there was too much frustration. Almost all the faculty that had to adjust their numbers resubmitted. I think there was just one or two holdouts, so pretty good. We'll take it.
Good.
Yeah.
And now we have a new automated feature that allows excluding those partially complete
Yeah.
academic years. Very quick and easy and clean, and no chance of this happening again.
We love it. We can't wait to use it. We can't wait for our next program review.
Yay.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sam. That was super informative to hear kind of the workings and getting everything up and rolling. Any other questions, comments?
Cool. I'll put my email in the chat. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, happy to meet with anyone. But yeah, our experience has been great and people are really enjoying the product.
I'm going to ask a question of Sam specifically.
Mhm.
What was the time for you to go through development and implementation as someone that's hopefully transitioning to this platform, so I can get a good starting point for when to begin?
Yeah, great question. I want to say we started in late fall. So I think it was about 4 months, I believe, from like starting that first process of talking with our sister college to talking with Eric and Wintry, setting up the data packet to training the liaisons. I think it was around 4 months.
Perfect. Thank you for
Yeah.
the suggestion.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like that, I think someone who has maybe more familiarity with program review maybe would take less time. I think I definitely had to lean more on, I was more of a liaison because I didn't know really what program review should look like from the get-go.
It also sounds, with you having a sister college, that you had to do more aligning, where
Yep.
if you don't have that hurdle,
Yep. Yeah, it was a
probably
lot more.
quicker.
So yeah, agreed. Yep.
Oh, and great job on your presentation.
Oh, appreciate it. Thanks.
Right. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Thanks again, Sam, for walking us through that. Our next meeting probably will be sometime in September, date to be determined. We are always looking for volunteers. Thank you again, Sam, for being willing to do this one for us. But if there's something that you're interested in talking about, we would love to hear from you. And even if you don't want to speak on it, but there's a topic that you'd really like to hear about, let me know and we can see if we can find someone to spend some time looking at that together. But please do reach out if you have any thoughts or ideas on that. Okay, I'm going to do a random number generator to figure out who's going to win our gift card. All right, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Kyung Ha. All right, so we'll be sending you a $50 DoorDash gift card. Congratulations. That'll
Thank
arrive
you.
via email. Yeah, and you can redeem it, hopefully enjoy a treat.
Sounds good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good deal. Well, that is all that I have on the agenda. We really appreciate you coming and engaging. It's great to have everyone here and chatting. Unless there are any other final items, Eric, good?
Nope, think we're good. Thank you
All right.
all.
Well, thank you all for coming.
All right, see you
Everyone,
later.
have a good
Bye.
day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.